Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We are going to start with Pedri, as 37 matches missed so far in his Barca career through injury. So it has been reported that Barca are being worried about the Wonderkid's injury record so far. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then secondly, talking about Sergio Busquets, as the Barca midfielder is yet to accept Barcelona's renewal offer and is still considering a move to the MLS. We're also going to be discussing more on that. So guys, as we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Pedri's first season with Barcelona was rather bizarre. The 16-year-old broke through the senior team under Ronald Koeman, who deployed him in various positions across the midfield and attack. The Spaniard's fitness record was commendable too, as he ended up playing 52 matches with Barcelona across 4 competitions plus another 20 with the Spanish national team and the under-21s. Since then, however, Pedri has suffered from multiple injuries and has missed 37 games in the last 2 seasons already from muscle injuries, AS reports. Barcelona are worried about the 20-year-old's injury record and are tracking the work done by physios on him. Last season, Pedri suffered from several problems with his left hamstring and picked up relapses time and time again. This time around, the Canary midfielder picked up a hamstring strain against Manchester United in the first leg of the UEFA Europa League knockouts. He has missed 7 games since then and is expected to be out for another 3 to 4 weeks. Initially though, the player had made it back into team training ahead of Barca vs Real Madrid in the league, but he then suffered a setback, which has now ruled him out even further. Pedri is not an isolated case, although with a tremendously packed schedule created by UEFA and the league La Liga, multiple players have started to pick up muscle injuries, including Andreas Christensen, Ronald Araujo, and Frankie de Jong most recently. Barcelona will continue to monitor the Spaniard's progress in the hopes of getting him back on the pitch as soon as possible. As of now though, Xavi might have to go into another El Clasico in the Copa del Rey without his midfield star. Injury problems for Barcelona this season have been really terrible. Just this international break again, Frankie de Jong got injured, Andres Christensen got injured, and we heard about Ronald Araujo picking up a knock. Pedri's injury, which came as a bad news, that he suffered a relapse just before the international break. You know, a guy who was supposed to return maybe for the El Clasico in the Copa del Rey after the international break. It came as a big blow to the club that Pedri suffered a setback when he had already started doing training sessions with the team. Of course, to be honest, it is really something to worry about, talking about Pedri, because he have already missed 37 games already, and it is too much. He's just still 20 years old, and just 2.5 seasons already, 37 games missed, and it is understandable that Barcelona should be worried about his injury record so far, and I think they need to do something about it, because from the look of things, when it continues like this, then there's a high risk that with time, the player might even be suffering more, and you start hearing people calling him an injury-prone player, and that is not what we want to see, Of course, without Pedri in midfield, Barca, when it talked about creativity in the midfield department, we don't have it there. We don't. Gavi is not that technical, Gavi is a more aggressive fellow. Okay, right now we see players like Frankie C coming in and playing the role. When Pedri have not been there, Frankie C, I think he has been doing a very good job, even though he has his own game is different. But Barca keep winning matches without Pedri still being in the team. And lucky enough that at least we have depth in that area. That is why we don't miss. Even like we see Dembele, who was like the best player for some time when he was fit. Even without Dembele, we see how Rafinha have picked up form, and everybody is doing the job well because they want to, convince the coaching staff to have faith in them, and that is what when Xavi came in as the boss, he always insisted that if we're going for the transfers, he will need at least two quality players per position. He needs depth, and I think that depth issue it comes in handy, especially when we see players out injured and the other players who come in for them, they still perform very well and the team keeps winning matches. Then on to the next story of discussion. Sergio Busquets is using the ongoing international break to evaluate his options, including a prolonged stay in Barcelona. The Catalan club have offered him a renewal. The terms of the deal are similar to that of Sergio Roberto, a one-year contract featuring a substantial salary cut and an option to increase the duration to one more year, subject to the number of matches played. According to Mundo Deportivo, Busquets has not yet made any decision on his future at Barcelona. It appears the contract offered by the club is not what he had expected. Barca themselves are aware of the low offer put forth by the club, but they are justifying the offer by citing their economic condition and their altercations with the financial fair play regulations that could make it very difficult for the club to sign new players. Moreover, Barcelona's issues have been compounded by the contract situations of Ronald Araujo and Pablo Gavi, with the latter's registration recently being revoked by the Mercantile Court in Barcelona. The club, therefore, are not in a position to offer Busquets a fortune, even though Javi Hernandez is desperate to keep hold of the player at least for another season. The player, for his path, may not have made his mind up about his future, but the prospect of a potential move to Major League Soccer, the MLS, continues to secure him, whether it be a move to Inter Miami or Toronto. But the club have shown concrete interest in signing the veteran midfielder. However, a prolonged stay at Camp Nou has not been ruled out for him. A lot will be unveiled in the coming weeks as Sergio Busquets seeks to make the last step in his illustrious career. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.